My brothers betrayed me and stole my business. But I got the last word. Reddit story. Part 1. The betrayal begins. My name is Jason. I'm 33 years old and live in San Diego, California. For most of my life, I believed that family came first. That no matter what, the people who shared your blood would never turn their backs on you. I was so wrong. When I was 19, my dad passed away from a sudden heart attack. It shattered me, but he left me something, his small wood furniture business. It wasn't fancy, just a humble workshop with a few clients. I didn't know how to run it, but I promised myself I'd protect his legacy. I taught myself accounting, customer service, and craftsmanship. It was slow, painful, but I made it work. By my late 20s, the company was turning a solid profit. I thought, why not share this success with my family? I brought in my two older brothers, Eric, 38, and Mark, 36. I trusted them. I gave them full access. I was proud to work beside them. I didn't see the signs at first: missing inventory, confused clients, and delayed payments. But then I found the proof. Mark had opened a secret bank account. Eric was helping him funnel money from our biggest contracts. When I confronted them, they didn't even deny it. The next day, I was locked out of everything. And just like that, I was erased from my own father's legacy. Part 2. The fallout. After they locked me out, I stood outside the office in shock. My name had been removed from the company website, email, even the signage. I wasn't just pushed out, I was erased. Employees I had trained wouldn't meet my eyes. Some even avoided me entirely. The sealed letter they handed me was from a lawyer. My brothers had filed paperwork weeks earlier to change the ownership structure. They claimed I voluntarily stepped down, forged my signature. Their names were now on everything. I couldn't afford a lawyer of my own. Every cent I had was invested in the business. My bank account was nearly empty. My credit cards maxed out from a recent marketing campaign I thought would grow our company. I felt humiliated, betrayed. I had nowhere to go but home. An apartment I barely had furniture in because I spent all my time at work. I stopped answering calls. I didn't tell anyone what happened, not even my closest friends. I just sat there, day after day, watching everything I built be used by the people who stabbed me in the back. And then, as if the universe wanted to twist the knife deeper, my landlord handed me an eviction notice. I was officially broke and alone. Part 3. Rock bottom. I moved into my old pickup truck. I parked it near a closed-down gas station on the edge of town. Nights were cold. My back hurt from sleeping upright. I kept a gym membership just so I could shower. No one knew. I was too ashamed. One night, while scrolling through my phone, I saw an old photo, me and Dad in the workshop. He had his arm around me, sawdust in his hair, grinning like we just won the lottery. I broke down. For the first time in years, I cried, deep, ugly sobs that echoed through the empty lot. I couldn't believe this was my life. The next morning, I sold my last expensive item, my watch, a gift from Dad. With the cash, I bought cheap tools and started offering to fix things around the neighborhood. Broken chairs, tables, cabinets, anything. Most people ignored me. A few gave me a chance. And slowly, I made enough to eat. Then, enough to rent a tiny room behind a grocery store. I built a small website with before and after pictures. Created a TikTok account. Started sharing my story, not the betrayal, just the craft. And then, something clicked. A video of me restoring an old dresser went viral. Suddenly, people were asking for custom pieces. Part 4. The rise begins. Orders started trickling in. First, it was locals who saw my videos. Then, someone with a big following reshared one of my posts. My inbox exploded overnight. I was still working out of a tiny shed behind a bakery. Tools were old, space was tight, but my hands remembered every movement. I stayed up late sanding, painting, filming. I responded to every comment, thanked every follower. And people noticed. A small article in the local paper called me the comeback carpenter. That article got picked up by a national blog. By month's end, I had 100,000 followers and real clients. With my first big check, I paid off some debts. Then I bought better tools. Then I moved into a small commercial space. Not flashy, but mine. For the first time in months, I smiled without pretending. One afternoon, I got a message from an old college friend, Erin. She saw my videos and asked to meet. We hadn't spoken in years. When we met, she hugged me like I hadn't disappeared. Said she always believed in me. That night, we stayed up talking like no time had passed. I didn't realize how badly I needed someone who saw me. Not the broken version, not the betrayed one, but the builder I had always been. And just like that, hope found its way back into my life. Part 5. The Unexpected Alley. Aaron became a regular presence in my life. At first, just helping me with social media captions or giving feedback on my designs. But soon, she was at the shop every weekend, bringing lunch, sanding wood next to me, laughing like old times. One day, while organizing some invoices, she noticed a familiar name on a custom order request, my older brother, Nate. I stared at it, stunned. Was this a joke? The message was simple. Saw your work. Didn't realize it was you. Can we talk? At first, I wanted to delete it. After everything, after stealing the business Dad and I built, after leaving me with nothing? But Aaron said something I couldn't shake. Maybe closure doesn't come from payback. Maybe it comes from being seen. So I agreed to meet. We sat at a quiet diner. Nate looked older, tired. He didn't make excuses. He didn't beg. He just said, I messed up. I thought I was doing what was right. I was wrong. For a while, we sat in silence. I didn't forgive him, not yet. But I realized, I wasn't angry anymore. I had moved on. He hadn't. And that was my victory. Part 6. The Final Piece. A year later, I stood outside a new workshop. Bigger, brighter, with my name on the door. Ethan Miller Woodworks. Dad would have been proud. Business was thriving. Orders booked months ahead. Aaron and I had grown close. We were officially a couple now. She brought calm to my chaos, vision to my work. Every piece we designed together felt like healing. One evening, I found an old photo of Dad, me, and the boys, before the betrayal. I stared at it for a while. Then I placed it on the shelf in the shop. Not out of nostalgia, but to remember where I came from, and how far I'd come. A few weeks later, my youngest brother, Jason, showed up. Quiet, nervous. He said, I want to make things right. Not just with you, with myself. We talked, cried a little, and then, I gave him a job. Not out of pity, out of choice. Forgiveness doesn't erase the past, but it lets you stop carrying its weight. That night, Aaron and I sat under the stars outside the shop. She held my hand. You rebuilt more than furniture, Ethan, she said. You rebuilt yourself. I smiled. The betrayal had broken me. But piece by piece, I made something stronger. Something mine.